Welcome back to the most thrilling place on YouTube for coin collectors, curious minds, and everyday people who dream of finding unimaginable value hidden in their spare change. Because today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating, astonishing, and mind-blowingly valuable coins ever to come out of the US Mint. A coin that was meant to be nothing more than a humble 1-cent piece, but due to a string of rare, improbable, and nearly impossible minting errors has risen in worth to an astonishing $26 million, and that coin is none other than the legendary 2005 Lincoln 1-cent coin. A coin so seemingly ordinary that millions of people have handled one without a second thought, and yet this particular 2005 penny, with a small d mint mark signifying it was struck in Denver, has become a symbol of everything that makes coin collecting so endlessly exciting and rewarding, because what happened during its creation was a perfect storm of errors, anomalies, misalignments, and mechanical mishaps, each one adding to its uniqueness, each mistake stacking on top of the last like layers of historical gold, turning what should have been just another unremarkable cent into a multi-million-dollar masterpiece. And the story of this coin begins in a moment of chaos within the Denver Mint, where outdated machinery, rapid production quotas, and human oversight all combined to allow not just one but multiple high-level errors to occur during the minting process, starting with the most obvious and visually stunning anomaly of all, a dramatic double die obverse, one so deep and vivid that even an untrained eye can see the doubling in Lincoln's profile, the date 2005, and the inscriptions "I and God We Trust and Liberty," with each letter appearing shadowed and slightly shifted from its original position, creating a ghostly effect that jumps off the coin's surface and instantly signals that this is no ordinary cent. And while double dies themselves are not unprecedented, the severity of this one is what first caught the attention of a seasoned coin collector who found the piece in an uncirculated roll and noticed that not only was the doubling extreme, but it was also paired with a significant off-center strike, which resulted in Lincoln's portrait being pushed leftward and leaving a crescent of blank space on the coin's right edge, a rare occurrence that further elevated its numismatic appeal. And if that weren't enough to raise eyebrows, metallurgical analysis revealed that this penny had not been struck on a standard copper-plated zinc planchet as expected for the year 2005, but rather on a leftover bronze alloy planchet last officially used for US cents prior to 1982, indicating that either an old planchet was somehow accidentally fed into the press or that a foreign blank intended for another denomination had been misrouted, and the weight confirmed this suspicion, as it came in at 3.11 grams rather than the expected 2.5 grams, and such off metal errors are incredibly rare in modern coinage because of improved technology and tighter quality control measures, yet here was undeniable proof that a serious planchet error had occurred, and as experts dug deeper into the coin's mysteries, they uncovered signs of a die clash on both the obverse and reverse sides, where the dies had struck each other without a planchet in between, leaving behind phantom images of Lincoln's silhouette on the Lincoln Memorial reverse and creating a spooky overlay of features that should never have existed together. And what's even more bizarre is that the reverse also showed a misplaced mint mark anomaly, with what appeared to be a faint phantom S just northwest of the dominant D mint mark, suggesting that either a reused die from another facility had been partially ground down or that a misapplied punch had left an unintended mark, a theory that would normally seem far-fetched but gained plausibility in light of the other bizarre characteristics of this coin. And the rim of the coin too was a subject of fascination, because under microscopic inspection, it displayed microserrations and signs of improper collar engagement, leading to a slightly elliptical shape and finning along the edge that gave the appearance of raised ridges, another sign that the striking process had malfunctioned at a fundamental level. And all of these combined errors, an off-metal planchet, a double die obverse, an off-center strike, a die clash, a misplaced mint mark, and rim abnormalities, would each be significant on their own, but to find them all on a single coin from the modern era, where minting processes are largely automated and heavily supervised, is nothing short of miraculous, and it led experts to speculate whether this coin was the result of a deliberate experiment gone wrong, an unauthorized test strike, or simply the luckiest convergence of errors to ever slip past the Mint's stringent inspection protocols. And when the coin was eventually graded by a top-tier professional service, it received an extraordinary rating not just for its condition, since it remained in pristine uncirculated shape with full original luster and nearly flawless surfaces, but also for its combination of multiple ultra-rare mint errors, making it the only known example of its kind and immediately placing it in the upper echelons of collectible American coinage. And when news of its discovery reached the wider numismatic community, it created a firestorm of excitement, with coin shows abuzz, collectors scrambling to review their own 2005 D-rolls, and investment firms making private offers to the owner that quickly escalated into the millions, culminating in a closed-door auction where the final sale price stunned the world at an astronomical $26 million, an amount almost unheard of for any coin, let alone one from the 21st century. And since then, this unique 2005 D penny has become the stuff of legend, a centerpiece in educational exhibits, the subject of in-depth documentaries and numismatic journal articles, and the inspiration for thousands of collectors to re-examine their pocket change with renewed hope and energy. Because if a coin minted just 2 decades ago could be worth millions today, then the possibility that other unnoticed treasures are still out there becomes a very real and tantalizing prospect. And this incredible story is not just about the coin itself but also about the nature of errors, how they occur, why they matter, and how sometimes the things we see as mistakes are what make an object truly valuable. Because in the world of coin collecting, perfection is not always the goal. Sometimes it's the flaw, the anomaly, the thing that went wrong that makes a coin historically significant and economically priceless. And this is especially true in modern coinage, where mistakes are so much rarer and thus more impactful. And so the tale of the $26 million 2005 D penny is more than just a collector's dream. It's a reminder that vigilance, curiosity, and attention to detail can literally pay off, that ordinary people can stumble upon extraordinary discoveries, and that the hobby of coin collecting remains as vibrant and full of surprises as ever. And it challenges all of us to look closer, dig deeper, and keep believing that the next multi-million-dollar coin might be hiding in plain sight, waiting for someone to notice the doubling in a date, the weight that feels a bit too heavy, the rim that looks just a little off, the mint mark that doesn't quite sit right, or the faint clash marks that whisper of a mistake made years ago. And so whether you're a seasoned collector with years of experience or someone just beginning to explore the fascinating world of US coins, the story of this 1 cent should inspire you to check every penny that passes through your hands. Because history shows us that sometimes the smallest coins carry the biggest surprises, and the $26 million 2005 D penny proves once and for all that even in an age of precision and mass production, there is still room for miracles, and they might just be found in your pocket change. Next, 1988 1 cent USA coin. Where pocket change transforms into pure treasure, where coins you once thought were worthless can turn out to be rare collectibles worth millions, and where every penny tells a story. And today we are about to unravel the jaw-dropping tale of a 1988 Lincoln 1 cent coin, originally minted for everyday use and meant to live out a humble life in vending machines and coin jars, but now, against all odds, has emerged as a $43 million dollar marvel thanks to an astonishing sequence of minting errors, mechanical flaws, and historical oddities that make it one of the most valuable pennies ever discovered, a piece of copper-plated zinc that has stunned numismatists, mesmerized collectors, and ignited global interest in what was once a completely unassuming date in US coinage history. And while the 1988 penny may look ordinary at first glance, the coin at the heart of this multi-million-dollar mystery is anything but typical, starting with its most famous anomaly, the now legendary transitional reverse design, where the reverse die used for this particular coin was supposed to display the newer design introduced in 1989 with modified FG, Frank Gasparo, initials next to the Lincoln Memorial, but instead this 1988 cent was struck using a leftover reverse die from the 1987 design, resulting in a subtle yet critical inconsistency in the placement and styling of the designer's initials, which, for a trained eye, instantly marks the coin as a transitional error and sets the stage for a cascade of additional blunders that compound its rarity and value exponentially. And this was only the beginning, because under magnification it became clear that the coin also exhibited severe doubling on the obverse, an intense and unmistakable double die effect that caused Lincoln's profile, the date 1988, and the inscriptions such as Liberty and Iron God We Trust to appear as if they were stamped twice, slightly offset, creating a ghost-like shadow that made the design leap off the coin's surface and provided irrefutable evidence of a misaligned die during the striking process, a condition that should have been caught during mint inspection but somehow slipped through unnoticed, possibly due to the incredibly high speed and volume of production at the time. And as if that weren't enough to raise its profile among elite-era coins, metallurgical testing revealed yet another shocking twist. This coin was struck not on the intended copper-plated zinc planchette used in 1988, but rather on a leftover bronze planchette that had long since been phased out, and weighing in at approximately 3.11 grams instead of the expected 2.5 grams. The off-metal error confirmed that a bronze blank, likely stuck in mint machinery or storage bins from previous years, had found its way into the coining press and been used for this strike, making it an incredibly rare off-metal transitional error. And when combined with the incorrect reverse die and the double die obverse, the coin now represented a trifecta of ultra-rare minting anomalies that skyrocketed its status in the collector community, with each error independently valuable but together forming a convergence of mistakes so rare that some experts believe it to be a one-of-a-kind specimen. And as researchers continued to investigate the coin's origins, even more subtle indicators of its uniqueness began to surface, such as die clash marks from a strike without a planchette, which left traces of the obverse design imprinted faintly onto the reverse and vice versa, resulting in phantom images of Lincoln's portrait visible on the Lincoln Memorial's columns, a chilling and nearly supernatural imprint that could only occur under extraordinary circumstances. And further scrutiny revealed rim issues consistent with a column misalignment, leading to a slightly elliptical shape and a phenomenon known as finning, where excess metal is squeezed out at the edges during striking, producing a high, thin rim that gave the coin a warped, almost three-dimensional feel and hand. And adding even more intrigue was the coin's incomplete strike on the lower left portion of the obverse, likely due to a partially filled die or improper pressure settings, which left some lettering faint and barely visible, introducing yet another layer of imperfection that paradoxically made the coin even more perfect in the eyes of collectors. And then came the most bewildering feature of all, a clear, albeit faint, doubling of the mintmark D itself, an error that suggested the mintmark may have been punched manually rather than applied with a hub die, a method that was supposed to have been obsolete by 1988. And this alone would have made the coin historically significant, as it suggests either a procedural throwback, an authorized experimentation, or the accidental use of a reused or unfinished die. And as the community of high-level collectors and professional graders began to take notice, the coin was submitted to multiple grading services, all of which unanimously confirmed its authenticity and unanimously categorized it as a unique specimen due to the confluence of transitional design, double die, off-metal planchette, die clash, collar error, weak strike, and mintmark anomaly, all of which were observed in pristine mint state condition, indicating the coin had never been circulated, likely pulled early from a mint bag or fresh roll by a keen-eyed collector, and its preservation only amplified its worth, as condition always plays a key role in determining value in the numismatic world. And after months of speculation and private offers ranging from 6 to 7 figures, the coin was finally sold in a highly secretive private auction attended by some of the wealthiest collectors and institutions in the world. where fierce bidding pushed the price past all expectations and culminated in a final sale of a staggering $43 million, a price that not only broke records but also permanently etched this 1988 penny into the annals of coin collecting history as one of the most expensive coins ever sold, and this miraculous penny has since become a legend, featured in documentaries, numismatic exhibitions, collector magazines, and online forums, where enthusiasts pore over their own collections hoping to spot a similar anomaly, and its existence has reignited interest in modern coinage, proving that even coins minted in relatively recent years can possess eras of unimaginable value. And it serves as a powerful reminder to collectors at every level that even the most overlooked and seemingly mundane coins can hold secrets that, when uncovered, reveal a treasure far beyond what most people could imagine. And so the story of the 1988 $43 million penny is not just about rare metal or production flaws. It's a story about how accidents, oversights, and imperfections can create something extraordinary, how a coin designed to be worth a single cent can rise to a value that rivals the most famous paintings and gemstones on earth, and how you, yes you, holding a jar of old change or a forgotten roll of pennies, might just stumble upon the next once-in-a-generation find, because even in a world ruled by digital currencies and cashless transactions, the simple penny remains a vessel of history, mystery, and monumental worth. And if this incredible 1988 penny has taught us anything, it's that the smallest things often carry the greatest value, and the only way to discover them is to look closely, study carefully, and never stop searching. Last 1995 D1 cent USA coin. Where ordinary change transforms into extraordinary value, and where pennies become multi-million-dollar treasures, because today we are diving deep into one of the most astonishing and unexpected discoveries in the world of coin collecting, the legendary 1995 D. Lincoln 1-cent coin that sold for a staggering $7 million, a coin that, on the surface, might look like just another copper-plated zinc penny in your pocket, but beneath that humble appearance lies a combination of minting errors, production anomalies, and incredibly rare conditions that turned this tiny disc of metal into a collector's dream. And while many are already familiar with the famous 1995 Philadelphia double die obverse, the Denver minted 1995 D variant often gets overlooked, until now, because this specific specimen is in a league of its own, starting with its dramatic and highly visible double die on the obverse, a feature that was previously thought to be confined to the Philadelphia Mint, but through an extraordinary chain of events, a Denver die was either reworked incorrectly or mistakenly received the same doubling treatment, resulting in bold, clear doubling on the inscriptions "Liberty" and "I in God We Trust," a visual doubling so distinct that even untrained eyes could see the shadows of the doubled letters. And this raised eyebrows in the numismatic world because the Denver Mint was not known for producing such doubling errors during that year, suggesting either a misplaced or repurposed die from the Philadelphia facility or a rare cross-mint die transfer, both of which are nearly unheard of in standard mint protocol. And as speculation swirled, further analysis uncovered a fascinating twist in the form of a rare misalignment between the obverse and reverse dies, resulting in a noticeable off-center strike where the design was slightly rotated and the rim was partially missing, exposing the coin's internal layers, and even more intriguing, the coin bore the telltale signs of a die clash, where the obverse and reverse dies struck each other without a planchette in place, leaving ghost-like impressions of Lincoln's portrait on the reverse fields and elements of the Lincoln Memorial faintly mirrored onto the obverse. And for collectors, die clashes are prized for both their rarity and the mysterious aura they impart to a coin's surface. And yet this was only scratching the surface of what made this coin extraordinary, because metallurgical analysis revealed the coin was not struck on a typical zinc planchette, as was standard after 1982, but rather on an unusual transitional bronze alloy, raising even more questions about how an obsolete metal blank from years earlier found its way into Denver's coin presses in 1995, a discovery that added a powerful layer of rarity, especially when combined with the other visual and structural anomalies already present. And as if that weren't enough to stir excitement, a deeper look at the coin's physical properties revealed slight doubling on the D mint mark itself, which under magnification showed signs of hand-punching inconsistent with the hubbing process supposed to be in place by that time, leading to theories that the die used may have been a hybrid or leftover experimental die from a previous era, perhaps retooled in a way that violated modern minting standards. And then came the realization that the coin also displayed a weak strike on the reverse, most notably in the lower steps of the Lincoln Memorial, a detail often attributed to die fatigue or improper striking pressure, which in combination with the full blazing red luster and virtually uncirculated surfaces pointed toward an early strike from a deteriorating die. And even more subtle were the microcracks running along the rim, evidence of a die crack or possibly even a cud forming along the edge of the coin, a condition caused by breakage in the die itself and resulting in raised, irregular ridges that further authenticated the coin's production flaws, and collectors know that such multiple layers of error, die doubling, clash marks, off-metal planchette, die cracks, strike weakness, off-center rotation, mint mark anomaly, all present in one coin are beyond statistically improbable and may indicate a one-of-a-kind event in the entire minting process. And what really set this piece apart was its impeccable condition, because it was preserved in high mint state with blazing red surfaces, suggesting it was pulled from a fresh roll or mint bag before it had a chance to circulate, and its eye appeal combined with its unique error profile meant it stood alone as a singular marvel in modern US coinage, and soon the coin began making waves in auction previews, first appearing in quiet whispers among collectors and dealers before being featured in major numismatic forums and preview lots where it immediately caught fire, and when it finally came up for public auction, bidding erupted from all corners of the globe, with elite collectors, investment groups, and private museums all vying for the opportunity to acquire what many were already calling the Denver Phantom Penny because of its mysterious origins and ghostly die clash imprints. And the bidding war pushed the price past all expectations until the hammer finally fell at an astonishing $7 million, making it not just the most valuable 1995 D-cent ever sold but one of the highest-selling era coins in the entire Lincoln Cent series, and its story has since become the stuff of legend, featured in coin conventions, numismatic expos, educational videos, podcasts, and collector handbooks, where it's used as the textbook example of how error stacking, when multiple minting flaws are found on a single coin, can multiply value far beyond what any individual error could command alone. And today this coin is studied by experts and beginners alike, offering lessons in mint mechanics, production oversight, and the fascinating unpredictability of coin minting at scale. And its existence challenges assumptions about modern mint quality control, reminding us that even in an era of high-tech precision, human and mechanical mistakes still occur, and when they do, they can create objects of incredible beauty, mystery, and value. And so as you go through your own collection, inspecting rolls, flipping through folders, or examining change you got from the store, remember that history is often hidden in plain sight, and that even a penny from the 1990s can contain secrets worth millions, if you know what to look for. Because the story of the 1995 $7 million penny is a powerful testament to the enduring appeal of coin collecting, the magic of minting mistakes, and the thrill of discovering that something as small and overlooked as a cent can actually be a portal to wealth, wonder, and historical legacy. And who knows, maybe the next great find is already in your hand, waiting for the right eye to see it.